set, or how do you see getting this started?
That was my question.
Well, I think we're going to have to make a little political team here. We're going to have to be a party. And if we run ourselves to the standard,
What are we going to run? A pop stand? I mean, what are we going to create with this system?
we'll be the Libertarian Party.
Yeah, but are we going to start building sidewalks? What are we going to do with this?
Well, what does any government do?
Well, it becomes a government.
Steal, murder, kill, extort, poison, pollute.
No, but
If people vote for those things, if
Rape,
people fucking
pillage,
want those
plunder,
how would
Yeah,
we implement
sure.
this?
murder,
How would like, could we go off the bush and start a commune? Fine.
kidnap.
I mean,
very easily, that would
but
be
then
the
that's,
easiest. Yes.
then you're assuming the prerogative to occupy land, which means you're.
But we don't have to do any of that.
Okay,
See,
if we don't do that, then we're staying in society. How do we implement it while we're in this society here?
like go to these meetings. This is like our little tiny imaginary commune, isn't it? This is our little.
It's a community.
Yeah, we're a community.
Yep.
We all live around here. We're all contributing members. You know, we don't have to leave society just to do things within it.
But what things are we going to do with the system? What sidewalks are we going to, statues we're going to build? What are we
Well,
going to do
first
with
we'll
it?
have to make decisions within ourselves. We'll have to get used to the system. Like, you know, we'll make little votes on where are we going to set up the tent to give out DVDs. What are we going to do? What's the DVDs? We'll make little decisions like that, so we get used to it, understand how it works, not go crazy like a kid in a candy store, like, whoa, new system, let's blow all our votes on boots. It's like, no, wait. Do we want boots for the whole group? Or do we want to hand out DVDs? What do we want? This could also help us figure out where to put the kitty money, the dues we pay. All of it. It's just, it really, it monetizes decision making, which makes it a much cleaner process. It's like the difference between having money and having the barter system. Yeah, you can get 2 sacks of potatoes for your pig. But what the hell? How do you count that? How much is the potato worth? How much is one potato worth in this grand scheme? It's impossible. You have no idea.
Which is half pig.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You'll never understand because it's impossible. But that's what we have right now. It's all back alley dickering with our high government. It's like, hey, you know, I'll give you a couple $1 billion on the side if you let me put my oil plant in your country. It's like, oh yeah, you know, that sounds pretty good. But if you monetize everyone's vote, it's like, hey, I'll give you nothing if you let me put my oil factory in your country. Like, no, well, thank you. Oh. Okay. And there's nothing they can do about it other than get all carry angry with guns and stuff. But Jesus, we're out of that era. So they might try it, but then we have the
Never
social-
carry the guns and stuff? We are not out of that area.
Well, we're out of the era of forcing each other to do stuff with them. Like we should be, if we think about it. You get pointed a gun at your face and say go to work? No, I don't either. I'm glad.
But we do.
Well,
Actually, we do.
With that.
It's subtle, but it's there.
yeah.
Wait till you
But
don't
this
pay
is
your
a solid
taxes.
way to
before
remove
you
it.
do
Yeah,
but
Yeah, it,
but they do it
Takes the
eventually.
gun out of your face. We won't point a gun, and people will come to us. Anyone that does point a gun, they'll soon find themselves a little circle with a bunch of guns sticking out. No one to shoot them. And they'll eventually die. They'll just wither away. People just won't vote for these parties anymore. They'll just sort of disappear out of the foreground, and no one will hear anything about them ever again because they didn't work. So why should anyone care? They'll be in the history books as humans' greatest failings.
The left, right
Humans
paradigm.
before we had, I don't know, a good way to make decisions with ourselves.
So that's how you'd start it. You'd start it as a decision-making process for the group.
And then it'll,
And then possibly move it into actual concrete development of possibly property or other projects.
yeah. And heck, even if we don't make it to the top, we don't, not prime minister or whatever happens here in Canada, if we can make this a solid system that works really good for groups like this to make decisions, we just give it away. We give everyone the information to lay out how it works, and here's a bunch of blank coins just for you guys. Make some decisions. Make some good decisions. it'll become very apparent what people want, and if they're warmongering thugs, and they put a bunch of money on going to war, they're warmongering thugs, and you can't hide it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't hide in the system at all. It's very open, and if you're evil, no one's gonna want to give you their votes. No one's gonna trust you. You're gonna soon find yourself on the outskirts, sort of, kicking grass and playing with your guns, not knowing what to do with yourself. Until you realize, oh shit, I guess I can't rob, cheat, and steal anymore. I'll rejoin society.
That's kind of the paradox that we're in right now, though, is that people don't see what the state does as robbing, cheating, and stealing. They think of
And
it
hide
as
their evil very well.
They don't think of it as evil voting to liberate Libya. They don't think of the children that they've murdered, the infrastructure that they've destroyed, and the debt that they've laid on their country. They think, we're doing good, we're freeing these people.
Making the world safe for democracy.
Yeah, they've got these buzzwords, and it's not taxes, it's not theft, it's taxes, it's not coercion, it's law, it's not extortion, it's jail.
Answer the question, how do you combat the people that control the information that seduce the people's consciousness? These voting situations, I mean, how do you stop people from, censoring the dialogue, the conversation? Which is what we have now with hate speech and political correctness and all this the climate denier crap, right? Which is an attempt to stifle the argument. How would the system work so that a Joseph Stalin doesn't get a hold of it and get everybody to, create communism, which will be perfect, and now that you're entering, what mechanisms,
It itself is the mechanism. It itself, you can't make communism, socialism, capitalism, well, it is practically capitalism, but you can't make those within it. It's a brand new breed of running ourselves. It's totally different than anything that's ever been tried in our recorded history.
Yeah.
We have no idea what organizations might already use a system just like this. Only, maybe instead of having their own coin, they use huge amounts of cash that might as well be their own coin, because ain't no one else going to contest.
Yeah. It's an interesting prospect.
Yeah,
it's an interesting idea. It's a good conversation to have.
Yeah.
Because I think we all understand here that the main problems with government and like these big political paradigms is their monopoly on the use of force and coercion
and information.
And that's the monopoly, right?
That's the main source of
they
coercion.
control.
Once they control your mind, the rest is easy.
Yeah.
Control your mind by controlling.
And if you can eliminate those and let people actually be free to choose and not just you're free to choose Coke or Pepsi. You don't get Fanta or ginger ale, you just get Coke or Pepsi. Well, if you don't like cola, you're fucked, right?
Yeah, but also you're messed up too because neither one of them are healthy to drink.
Yeah. You're still drinking poison.
It's just a metaphor.
Ours is kind of
Just give the kid a water.
Yeah.
That's all ours is. There's no additives. There's no little tricks. There's no side deals. There's no, hey, if I get elected, whatever, I also get a bunch of money from these guys over there because I made a deal with them years ago.
That's
There's none
true.
of that.
No, that's
You can't
true.
do it.
That's
It's
true.
impossible.
I like the idea of the transparency that it suggests you have.
It completely
I still
eliminates
need a lot.
force.
I'm still leery, but it's a very interesting concept.
Because even transparency.
We got voluntary participatory societies that don't have people that are governing you, that you are governing yourself accordingly.
Yeah, but people don't live in a vacuum. You live in a
No,
society.
you do, but you don't need people
One guy
to
builds a
govern you.
carriage, the other guy picks the potatoes and puts them in the carriage and it goes to work.
And that's
the way we work.
voluntary cooperation.
You're right.
Rather than having, well, you have to pick the potatoes and I'm going to give you a ride, but you have to give me potatoes.
Yeah.
There's no have to and coercion, right? There's, hey, I need a ride. Will you take some potatoes? Sure.
So this depends on its success, and its success will ensure its success. Or its failure.
Well,
Will ensure its failure.
the only way it could fail is if we can't get along. And even if that happens, I still see that as some form of success. Like, it'll show the sort of strength of our group, the ideas we all share. If there's certain topics that get a lot of votes to, do something about, it's going to show who we are as a whole, as a group, of what our organization really wants to change. And, it'll be solidified, so we can't say, oh, I don't want to do it. Solid. It's like, well, I voted that I would do it, said I'd do it, I have to do it. You can't say no, I can't, I'm not doing it. It's not that. Once you say you're in, you're in. You can't take your vote back. You can pay more to say you're not doing it, but...
So there's no real state, it's just a voluntary, I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No.
But it's just a group that everybody volunteers to join the group, and anybody can volunteer not to join the group and exit the system at any time.
Yeah. You might want to donate your vote to somebody that'll, take your torch. That'd be nice. But you can still just
bail
take
out.
them with you. They won't ever disappear. You can just take them with you, and then maybe 20 years down the line, you say, actually these guys, holy crap, maybe I shouldn't have left. Maybe they're doing something. Maybe I will go spend those 10 votes that I've been holding for 20 years. And you jump back in, you make a difference. And eventually, it's not just, this system won't apply just to small groups like us. It'll apply to everybody. Everybody.
But
Everybody
you have
like
to
it.
get it started.
Exactly. That's why we're here. This is where it starts.
Well, you'll have to explain this more than once, and you'd have to put it to the entire
The
group.
best way to do it is to just do it. Remember that computer thing we did at that time? And we blew all our money on you and me getting elected?
And people voting for boots.
Yeah, people voting for boots.
Oh, yeah.
That's this. Only Dad doesn't know how to sell an idea. Dad doesn't know how to sell much. But I do. And I
Well, on that
understand.
note, it's 8:30. Is it break time?
I guess